So you're thinking of making the move to Red Deer, Alberta? Then this video is for you. We're gonna talk about the lifestyle in the city. We're gonna take a look at the real estate market, what the economy looks like heading into 2025, plus a whole bunch more stuff. So let's get into it. What's up everybody, my name is Kyle. Thank you so much for checking out my channel. I really appreciate you. If you do need help making the move here, I am a licensed realtor. Use this info popping up. Get a hold of me any way you like, phone, text, or email. Would love the chance to earn your business. All right, let's get into the first topic that we're going to talk about today. Let's talk about the housing market, what the real estate market looks like heading into 2025. What are my predictions for 2025? If only I had a crystal ball. Things could change, but in my opinion, or my prediction is that if interest rates continue to go down, which they're expected to, lots of experts, much smarter than me in that field, are predicting interest rates down to 2.25 to 2.75, which is going to create an absolute buying frenzy if this happens. Now, inflation has crept up a little bit, so there's been some speculation as to whether or not those interest rates will come down that low. There is supposed to be another rate cut in December, but a lot of people have been waiting to see what is going to happen with the interest rates. And if they do continue to fall and head down to those kind of lows, I didn't ever think we'd actually see interest rates down in the twos again. I thought that was just a pandemic thing. The country is heading into a recession or is in a recession, and the government uses interest rates kind of as a brake and gas pedal to increase spending or decrease spending. So I predict, and I could be wrong, and we'll revisit this video when the time comes, but I think that the spring market in 2025 and 2025 in general is going to be an insane market. And the government has also kind of implemented some things to increase affordability. So on December 15th, 2024, there's a couple things that will be implemented. One, they've extended the 30-year amortization period on mortgages to include first-time homebuyers and purchasers of new builds. Previously, you would have to take your mortgage out over 25 years. So this is going to lower your monthly payment and increase affordability. Now, they have also increased the insured mortgage cap of $1 million up to $1.5 million. So previously, anything over $999,999, you had to put down 20% as a down payment. Now, anything over that mark, you only have to put down 10%, up to 1.5 million. Now, in my opinion, this is just kind of a band-aid fix on a broken real estate market. Real estate prices in this country are way too high. But if we look at the city of Red Deer, everything is still super affordable. So lots of people are moving to Alberta. They're looking at Alberta. They look at our big cities like Calgary and Edmonton. Calgary's getting crazy expensive down there as well. So lots of people are actually reaching out to me from Calgary, not just from out of province, looking to make the move to this central Alberta area. So if we look at the median price, I always say medium for some reason, the median price in Red Deer, Alberta, at the time of making this video, which is at the very end of November, I don't think we'll see a huge change as there's only 1 month left. And typically in December, the real estate market doesn't do a whole lot. But the median price for a detached home in Red Deer, Alberta is $424,000 compared to $380,000 last year in 2023, which is 11.5% increase in appreciation. So you can see that those prices are coming up nicely. So real estate prices and the price of housing in Red Deer are still super affordable heading into 2025. Again, I do think that we are going to see that price go up quite a bit next year, just with the interest rates coming down, creating that buying frenzy, and then it's a supply and demand thing. So if there isn't a lot of houses, which inventory is very low, that price is going to go up. Now let's talk about the rental market in Red Deer, Alberta. Now, just a couple weeks ago, a news article came out showing that when it comes to apartment rentals, Red Deer is among the cheapest in the country with an average apartment rental of $1,470 per month.
Wow. They grow up so fast. This could be an excellent investment.
Now, I made this post on my Instagram, and I know that people, it kind of triggered some people because it's still expensive compared to what it used to be. Red Deer used to be the most affordable rental market in the country, and prices are continuing to go up with everybody moving to Alberta. But I challenge you to compare these prices to other cities and you won't be complaining as much. So unless you want to go live out in the middle of nowhere, Red Deer is fantastic for a mid-sized city or any larger center for that matter when it comes to the average rental rates per month.
I'm not telling you this is different. This is 10 out of 10.
We are the cheapest place in town.
Now, 6 out of the top 10 were actually in Alberta, so that just even highlights more why people are moving to Alberta because of our cost of living. So we talked about the rental market, we talked about the cost to buy a detached home. Now let's talk about property taxes in the city of Red Deer and make some comparisons to some other cities that a lot of people really compare Red Deer against when they're moving to Alberta. So right now, Red Deer is sitting at 0.98% of the assessed value. So on a $500,000 home, you'll pay $4,910 per month. Now let's compare this to some other similar sized cities, especially one that everyone compares each other against is Lethbridge. So Lethbridge is pretty much identical in size to Red Deer. It's a couple hours south of Calgary, so it's in southern Alberta. But in Lethbridge, you'll pay 1.07% of the assessed value. So on a $500,000 home, you'll pay $5,368. So pretty close, a little bit more affordable in Red Deer. And now if we look at our bigger cities like Edmonton and Calgary, they are going to be much more affordable, have much better property taxes. Calgary, I think, is at 0.75 if I remember correctly. Now, if we look at some of the towns that surround Red Deer, because when you're moving to Red Deer, you should definitely be considering some of the smaller towns like Lacombe and Black Falls and Sylvan Lakes. They are also amazing areas, but Black Falls is sitting at 1.03% and Lacombe is at 1.14%. Lacombe is actually one of the highest cities in the province. And then Sylvan Lake is coming at 0.93% of the assessed value. So overall, when we look at the big picture, things are still really affordable in Red Deer. The detached price is $424,000. The rental market is still really affordable in comparison to the rest of the country, and property taxes aren't going to break the bank. All right, let's talk about the next section. Let's talk about the economy and the job market. And I think heading into 2025, Red Deer and the province of Alberta are looking really, really good. Because of our economy, I think that Alberta as a whole is in a much better position than the rest of the country to handle this quote unquote recession that we're going through. Red Deer's unemployment rate continued to drop through the end of 2024, which indicates a strengthening market. And check this out, there was a 93% increase in housing starts from 2024 to 2023. So 327 homes built in 2024 compared to 169 homes built in the previous year of 2023. So if you're looking for new construction, we only have a few neighborhoods where this is happening. Evergreen, this is where a lot of new construction is going on. It's kind of up in that northern east section of the south end. Very unique community. I really like this area. It's kind of separated from Red Deer, so it's got a very unique feel to it. Lots are a little bit smaller, but this is a fantastic area. And then we have a lot going on in the Timberlands North area. Now, I used to work at Station 4, which is right in the Timberlands North neighborhood. And this area was basically a ghost town for years and years and years. There was nothing going on there. It was just hundreds of empty lots. And now the place is half full. The builders are building like crazy there. You can also find some new construction down in Laredo and way down on Gaston Alley. They are developing a lot of residential area down there called Liberty Landing. So it's actually in the county. It's not within the city of Red Deer. It's kind of a unique area. You're really close to all the shopping and Costco and everything that's on Gaston Alley. So this may also be an area that you might want to consider. All right, let's just touch on some key industries that you might want to look into if you're looking for a job here, you don't have a job yet and you're making that move. Now, I did make an entire video breaking this down in great detail. So I'm just going to touch on a couple key industries. I'm going to make a link to that video up there. I never know where it's going to be linked on the screen. My editor doesn't tell me these kinds of things.
What did your editor say?
Never tells me anything anymore.
But check out that video. It goes into great detail about some of the most important industries in Red Deer in the central Alberta area. But as we just talked about, 93% increase in housing starts. So if you're into construction, you're looking to build homes, or if you're into trades, you maybe want to be an electrician, this is a booming industries. I actually had some clients moving out here from Vancouver and their son was going to stay behind because he wanted to pursue a career as an electrician. And they were like, why wouldn't you come to Alberta where you're going to have a much easier and more opportunity to find a job in that industry? Now, Red Deer is the major hub of central Alberta. We have the Red Deer Regional Hospital, so healthcare and social assistance in this Red Deer area are absolutely massive industries. They are probably one of the biggest industries within the city. The hospital is super busy. They need lots of staff there. And everyone knows that we have the $1.8 billion hospital expansion taking place, supposed to be completed by 2030 to 2031. So this is going to require an exponential amount of staff to make this happen, not only to build it, but to staff it once it's complete. So either of these industries, social assistance or healthcare, there is lots of employment out here. And of course, we have the backbone of Alberta, we have the oil and gas industry. But please make sure you do check out that video as it goes into much greater detail than I'm going to provide you in this video. All right, let's talk about new and future developments that are coming up in the city of Red Deer. Some you might know about if you've been watching this channel, but there's some new ones that I want to talk to you about. The first one that we're going to discuss is the Bower Woods development. So this is located just south of the Sunnybrook neighborhood. This currently is a farmstead. I believe it's a quarter section of land in there owned by the Bower family, but this has been purchased by Melcor Developments and it is going to be turned into a residential development. And I am super excited for this one. The location of it is going to be absolutely fantastic, or it is fantastic. You're in the southern central portion of Red Deer and you are super close to everything. You're close to beautiful walking trails and nature. You're close to some of the best shopping in the city. You can walk to Bower Mall. If you want to head down south, you can walk to the Centrium and catch a Rebels game. Now, even though this is going to be developed, they are making sure they're going to preserve the natural topography of the Waskasoo and Piper Creek trail system. They have set aside 40 acres for this. So keep your eye out for the Bower Woods development. Not exactly sure when this is supposed to start, but I think this is going to be a fantastic new development in a great area.
I can't wait to see it.
Now, we kind of touched on this in the last one, the Timberlands North area. So we have the whole neighborhood of Timberstone. Up on the north end is called Timberlands North. Again, this area lay dormant basically for many, many years. There was nothing going on there. And now it has exploded and it went from being maybe 10% full to almost 50% full just in the last year. Now they've designed this to be a super walkable area. I don't really have any good shots for you, but in between the houses, there's lots of pathways. And we talked about the Timberstone Market Plaza, which is an outdoor market. You have walkability that's right in the neighborhood, literally connected to the Timberlands North area. Now, this is a unique area when it comes to different types of homes. So you have your typical detached homes, you got your row townhouses and duplexes, but in this area, you're also going to find some carriage homes, which you're not going to find anywhere else. So they have the normal dwelling, the single family detached dwelling in the front, and in the back there is a garage, and up top you have a suite above it. Now, some of the cons of living in this area is that, there's not a lot of trees or anything. This is a new neighborhood. There's hardly any trees at all, to be honest with you. So if that's something that matters, maybe that's something you want to consider. But this is an up and coming area. And I've had some builders reach out to me looking to get into this area. So this is going to explode. Now, we've talked about the next one on this channel many times over, the Capstone development. I am super excited for this one. I think that this is going to be the coolest area in the city, in my opinion. I know I've said that many times, but you're right up on the river, which is really cool. Even though Red Deer has an amazing river valley, sometimes we don't have a lot of great options when it comes to living right up on the river. Either they're super expensive or the neighborhoods aren't the greatest neighborhoods and you don't want to live in them. But Capstone is right up on the river and it is a great area. You're going to have access to all of the great trails along the river. Bower Ponds is right across, and there's a bunch of developments that are going to be taking place along with the Capstone project that are adding businesses there, in addition to what you already get coming from the Cronquist Business Park. So there's tons of really cool coffee shops and breweries and organic markets. I think this is going to be just a really kind of cool, trendy area that you're not going to be able to find this experience anywhere else in the city of Red Deer. Now, this is a 20-year project and there's supposed to be roughly 5,000 residents in a bunch of urban modern condos, row townhouses, and apartment buildings. Right now they're in phase 1 and they're constructing the Alex, which is supposed to be done by next summer, I believe. However, this one is only available for rent. You cannot purchase these ones. This is also very walkable to the hospital as well. So I think this is going to be really popular area, not only for investors, but just people looking to live in a very walkable area and a very trendy, cool area as well. Now, there's some really big developments. We've talked about the hospital expansion, $1.8 billion, the biggest in Alberta Health Services history. However, this isn't the one I'm the most excited for. I'm more excited for the expansion of the airport, which is taking place right now. I believe they're in phase 2 of a 3-phase project, a $30 million facelift to the Red Deer Airport. Previously, there really wasn't anything going on at the Red Deer Airport. With this new expansion, the widening of the runways, everything that they're adding to it, they can now accommodate bigger planes like the Boeing 737, which means they're adding passenger flights to this airport. So you're going to be able to access major Canadian destinations or hubs like Vancouver or Toronto. And in the future, there's potential for international flights coming out of this airport. Now, anytime developments like this take place, you increase transportation lines, you improve them. This is going to be huge, not only for Red Deer, but the central Alberta area. And I think that you're going to see a lot of people start to look to this area because of these improvements that are being made to the airport. So super exciting. I'm really pumped for this airport expansion. Now let's touch on one final residential development. Let's head up to the north end of the city. Let's talk about the Haslett Lake development and the north of 11A project. Now there hasn't been any love on the north end for a very long time. This is the first residential development in over a decade taking place up there. So it's nice to see that the north end is finally getting some love. A ton of land just north of Highway 11A has been annexed by the city, and this is set to be developed over many decades to come. But the first development, which is supposed to break ground next year in 2025, is the Haslett Lake development. So I think this will be a really interesting area. It has a huge focus on outdoor recreation with tons of interconnected walking trails, which are also supposed to connect into Red Deer's broader trail system, which is absolutely amazing. Now, oddly enough, even though Red Deer has tons of beautiful nature, this is the first residential development that will actually be around a natural body of water or natural lake and not a man-made lake. So I think that's really cool. The lake is kind of going to be the central hub of this neighborhood. And I think this is probably going to be the closest thing that Red Deer has to a master plan community. Along with all the residential stuff, there's going to be tons of businesses and different things put into the Haslett community as well. So super exciting. Lots of new developments coming up in Red Deer. The economy is looking really good. I'm excited to see what this all brings. All right, let's talk about the lifestyle and the recreation that comes with living in the city of Red Deer. Now, before we get started, we have to kind of discuss Red Deer's unique and central location. So in my opinion, the location of Red Deer doesn't get any better. I know lots of people compare it to Lethbridge, but if you ask me, I think Red Deer's location blows the socks off of Lethbridge. So you are literally the halfway point between Edmonton and Calgary, which means going to either of those cities is a super easy day trip. You can be there in an hour to an hour and a half. So whether you want to go up to West Edmonton Mall or head down to the zoo or Callaway Park, maybe you want to go catch an Oilers game or a Flames game, you are in such an amazing central location here that all of this is really easy. And you can be in Banff and the mountains in 2.5 hours, which is another easy day trip. And of course, we have to discuss that we're only 15 to 20 minutes away from the best lake in Alberta, Sylvan Lake. This is an amazing little lake town right near Red Deer, Alberta. It is a huge tourist attraction in Alberta. And a lot of people ask me, like, how good can this lake be being in central Alberta? I know people coming from Ontario, you guys are spoiled. You guys have some amazing, beautiful lakes out there. Sylvan Lake is legit. This is an amazing lake town. Now, we don't have any pro sports teams here, but again, we're never far away from an Oilers game or a Flames game. But right here in Red Deer, we do have some access to some really cool stuff. So we are home to the Red Deer Rebels, which is a WHL hockey team. They play at the Centrium, which holds 7,100 people. So it's a really intimate feel, and it's absolutely fantastic hockey. I mean, the Nuge, who plays for the Oilers now, he used to play for the Rebels. So lots of really good talent. The Red Deer Rebels are super fun to go watch. My daughters love watching Rebels games. And just out in Sylvan Lake, if you're a baseball fan, we have the Sylvan Lake Gulls, which is part of the Western Canadian Baseball League. This is a super fun time. They have a beautiful stadium that they just built out in Sylvan Lake. The inaugural season was in 2021. This is a blast. Make sure you check out a Gulls game. So even though we don't have a lot of professional sports or any professional sports, there still is some amazing sports right here in the area. Now let's talk about the outdoor recreation here in Red Deer, Alberta. I think that this is Red Deer's superpower. People really have no idea how beautiful this city is. And I think living here since 1998, you almost take it for granted. Red Deer is amazing when it comes to outdoor recreation. We have a beautiful river valley. It's absolutely stunning with tons and tons of parks that line the river valley. So you can start at Heritage Ranch, which is an amazing park. You can go on horse rides. There's Westlake Grill. There's tons of beautiful walking trails. You can go fishing. You can follow it down to Bower Ponds, where you're going to find a lot of events taking place. This is where we have our fireworks in the summer. This is also a beautiful park. Now, I'm not going to talk about all of them because there's so many, but you can keep going down the river to the Gates Lakes Burn Sanctuary, Mackenzie Trails, and then on to Discovery Canyon, which is a really fun area. You're definitely going to want to check that out if you've recently moved to the area or you're in the area. This is a fantastic way to spend the day with the kids. It's a man-made river. You can grab some tubes, you can float down. There's a wading pool, there's a concession. Super fun time here. And if you are a dog lover, we have one of the nicest dog parks in the country. So we actually have two. On the very south end of the city, we have the Oxbow's Off-Leash Dog Park. Still a really nice dog park. It's completely fenced in, very busy. People love this area. But if you're really looking for beauty and nature, nothing really compares to 3 Mile Bend. If you have a dog, you definitely want to go check this place out. It's located along the Red Deer River. It is absolutely beautiful with tons of amazing trails and lots of really cool things for your dogs to do. When I lived in the city, I went there daily with my dogs and I absolutely love this area. Now, a fun fact about the city of Red Deer is that it has won the most active city in Alberta the last 3 years in a row. And in 2022, it actually took the national title. And I think that's a testament to all of our beautiful trails and parks. This is why people are so active here. And in the wintertime, there's still lots of great things to do. You know, if you don't want to head to the mountains, we have a beautiful ski hill just east of town called Canyon Ski Hill. This is an amazing ski hill. It is the largest non-mountain ski resort in Alberta. And in 2019, when Red Deer held the Canada Winter Games, they pumped a ton of money into it. So this little ski hill is absolutely amazing. And then in the Riverbend Recreation area, we have some of the most comprehensive cross-country ski trails that you're gonna find anywhere. Now, overall, Red Deer just feels like, even though it's a big city, it still has that small town feel to it, which I personally like. I mean, I love visiting the big city like Calgary, 1.5 million people. I, however, can't stand the rush hour, that Deerfoot. I swear to God, even when there's nothing going on there, I get stuck in traffic.
Always traffic. Always traffic.
This is exhausting.
And that's what I like about Red Deer. It's got that small town feel to it. I know some people are going to argue with me about this, but I really don't think that Red Deer has any rush hour or any traffic issues, especially when you go visit an actual city like Calgary and you see what a real rush hour is like. There's some areas that before work and after work might get a little bit more congested and might add a couple minutes to your commute time, but there really is no traffic issues. You can get from one side of the city to the other in about 20 minutes. So really you have the convenience of everything that comes with a big city, minus some specialty stores, maybe like IKEA or something like that. But Red Deer literally has everything else without all of the issues that come with living in a big city. Now I'm gonna nip this in the bud before everyone blows me up in the comments when I say that we don't have big city problems. They're gonna talk about the homeless population. Yes, Red Deer does have a homeless population. It's mainly concentrated to our downtown core. But for those of you who make this complaint, I challenge you to find any bigger center in North America right now that isn't struggling with the same situation. This is not exclusive to Red Deer, sorry.
When I'm finished with this place, it's gonna be 10 times better than that place.
Is it really that much better than this place?
So Red Deer is amazing when it comes to outdoor recreation. We have so much going on here. You do not have to travel outside the city to find walking trails and beautiful greenery and ski hills and lots of fun things to do. However, because of the location of Red Deer, if you do need to go to Edmonton or Calgary or the mountains or Sylvan Lake, it's a super easy day trip. So we have a very unique and central location, and Red Deer has an amazing lifestyle when it comes to outdoor recreation, as well as being in a big city, but not having a lot of the issues that come with living in a big city. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And if you would like any help with the real estate needs, I am a realtor in the area. Use the info popping up. Get a hold of me anyway. I'd love the chance to earn your business. Okay, guys, I'll see you next week in the next video. Cheers.